Alright, welcome back to another video. It's Andy from gymnutrition.co.uk, and today I want to talk about PCT. Now, why do I want to talk about PCT? Because people keep asking me, what's PCT? Do I need PCT? When do I take it? Now, if you don't know what PCT stands for post-cycle therapy. Now, post-cycle therapy is used post-cycle when you're taking a course. So that might be steroid course or possibly SARMs course, a grey area. I might do another video on that one. So let's pretend that you're taking steroids. Now, I'm not a doctor, as you know, so I'm not advocating the use of steroids or SARMs or any other products. So if you are thinking about taking SARMs, steroids or any other dodgy things, then that's down to you. This video is more personal experience and for entertainment purposes only. So let's crack on. So post-cycle therapy. Now, why do you need post-cycle therapy? Now, let's assume that you take a big course of steroids. Now, before you start your course of steroids, if you're a man, then you've got male hormone. Let's stick to the basics. So you've got testosterone, yeah. There's other things going on in there, but you've got testosterone. You've got that much testosterone, and you've got that much estrogen, for argument's sake. So when you suddenly take steroids, your testosterone, natural testosterone that your balls create, is that much, say, for argument's sake. This is very scientific, isn't it? That much. All of a sudden, you whack a couple of mil of test in, it goes from that to that. And you're like, whoa, put on shitloads of muscle size, I can't stop wanking every 10 minutes, blah, 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 blah. Now, after a while, this is dose dependent and individual dependent. After a while, your body will say to itself, getting shitloads of testosterone from somewhere, I don't know where the fuck that's coming from, but I might go on holiday for a while, because your balls make testosterone. Your balls will go on holiday. They'll think, you know what, I'm not needed now. I'm getting shitloads of testosterone from somewhere, so I'm gonna have a little break. I'm fucking off to the Bahamas for a few months, yeah? Give us a shout when you need me. I'm out of there. So your body will slowly start shutting down its own natural production of testosterone, because it doesn't need any. It's getting shitloads. You're jabbing at your ass every week, yeah? So that's basically what happens. Now this shutdown is, I suppose it's like dose dependent. So if you were to have 1 or 2 mil of test for 6 weeks, the chances are you won't have a great shutdown. And it's also age related. So if you're in your 20s, you're going to bounce back really quick, like I did in my 20s. Went out gear in my 40s. Then if I didn't have a decent post-cycle therapy, then my sex drive goes to like 0. I don't want to train, I lose muscle mass, put on a little bit of body fat, feel a little bit like, can't be fucking asked to go to the gym or anything like that. So therefore, all that muscle you've gained by taking all them expensive steroids, you go like that, and then when you come off, you don't take a post-cycle therapy, you go like that, and you end up kind of where you was, or if not a little bit worse, because you can't be asked to go to the gym and you're a little bit fatter. And if you can't be asked to go to the gym, you think to yourself, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna have Ben and Jerry's and a McDonald's tonight. So that makes it even worse. So you could end up even worse off than before you started. So also, what else was I going to say? Back in the room. The things you take for post-cycle therapy, you want an estrogen blocker or an AI, things like Arimidex or tamoxifen. Now, both of these drugs will kind of, if you like, eliminate. They won't really eliminate. They'll reduce estrogen. So why do you want to reduce estrogen? You remember at the start of this video I said, well, a man's got that much testosterone and that much estrogen, yeah? So it keeps a ratio between the two. Loads of male hormone, tiny bit of female hormone, estrogen, yeah? So you want them ratios to keep it a healthy balance, yeah? Healthy ratio. So all of a sudden you go from that test to that test, so your estrogen is going to raise a little bit, yeah, to keep that ratio together. So all of a sudden you stop taking the testosterone or the steroids, and then your levels plummet really quick, yeah, over a few weeks. But it takes your body a while to realise this, so your estrogen levels are still high from the high test. Does that make sense? So when your estrogen is high, that's when you get things like gynecomastia, or commonly known as bitch tits. So you develop a little bit of breast tissue, your glands around your nipple will swell, and you get it's basically like a girl going through puberty. You start growing boobs. You can also put on a little bit of body fat. You're more like you're slightly female at this point, yeah. So you put on a little bit more body fat. You can lose size and strength, which are all things you don't want to do when you come off course. You want to retain as much muscle as possible to make this dodgy steroid course that you've just done more sort of like worthwhile in the long term. So you want tamoxifen, tamoxifen will block the estrogen receptors, so it will stop the estrogen binding to the receptors to do its job. So you want either that or things like Aromacin and Arimidex, which actually stops the production, or not all of the production, but it will slow down a great amount of the production, put it like that anyway. So you want an anti-estrogen, to keep it simple, and you also want something to bring back your own natural testosterone levels. So things like HCG. HCG is a med, and it very basically what it does, it sends a signal from your head to your balls to say, please Mr. Bollocks, can you start making testosterone please, because we need some right now. Can you get the next flight back from the Bahamas and get cracking on making tests, because I'm starting to turn into a girl. So you want them things straight away, yeah? So that's basically what you have to take as a post-cycle therapy. Now, I've just mentioned these things on steroids. Now, these are things that I've kind of done myself over the years, on and off. Sometimes I used post-cycle therapy, and to be honest, a lot of times I didn't bother, especially in my 20s. If you're in the 20s, you know, you get I had a few bottles of test, a bit of Deca or whatever, and I'd stay on for sort of 8 weeks, and then I'd come off. I'd see a slight dip in like sex drive and stuff, and my strength would go down a little bit, and then a few weeks later I'm back to normal. But that was in my 20s. But I say now I'm in my 50s. I haven't took steroids in my 50s, but when I was in my 40s when I took steroids, things were a whole lot different. So you don't bounce back half as quick in your 40s. Same as on anything. You know, if I was to run around this bloody lake, I wouldn't be able to do it in my 40s, but in my 20s I'll probably be able to do it no problem. So things are a lot harder to bounce back when you're older. So if you're older like me, or I'd say, you know, over 30, then you 100% need a decent PCT. If you're a little bit younger and you only have a little bit of gear, then you don't need to go quite as mad, probably, maybe. But the only way you're going to know for definite is by having a blood test, and then you know exactly, because we're all individual, as I keep saying in my videos. So the only way you're going to know if you need a PCT or not is to have a blood test, and the chance, and you got a 90% certain chance of needing a PCT if you're taking steroids. Some of the lighter ones, like Anavar for argument's sake, then I probably wouldn't even bother with a PCT. And if I was going on a bit of test in my 20s for 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks max, then I'll probably have a little bit of tamoxifen at the end, but I probably wouldn't bother with HCG, because like I just said, I'd bounce back quite quickly at that age. But nowadays I wouldn't, I'd have to take the whole lot basically. So anyway, I hope that helps you a little bit. I'm going to touch on PCT for SARMs as well. Bloody fly now. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for now. Sorry, I'll just see my battery's got like 7% on it. So I'm hurrying up now before my battery runs out. So if you like my silly little videos and you find them entertaining and a little bit of knowledge imparted in there for you guys, then please give me a thumbs up. If you think I'm a complete tool, then you know, you're more than welcome to tell me that. You know, I'm quite thick-skinned. I can take it on the internet, unlike a lot of people. And I'm trying to get my YouTube channel up to a reasonable amount, because you know, I'm not planning on taking over the world, let's face it. Someone like me ain't never going to do that. But I would like a few more subscribers, and thank you very much for the 375 as of today subscribers that I have got. So if you're watching this on IGTV or Facebook, because I do post the same video on those as well as sharing the link, then please consider subscribing, heading over to YouTube and type in Gym Nutrition and giving me a little sub. That would be wonderful. Oh, before I go, I'm getting I'm saying quite a lot, that's a lie. I'm getting a few comments, because the channel's only small, I can cope with replying myself to the comments. So I'm grateful for people leaving comments. What I'm planning on doing, whilst it's still a small little channel and I can manage myself, is I'm going to do a little Q&A. So I'm going to pick out a load of the questions that I get on YouTube and sit down and do a little Q&A. So if anyone has got any specific questions that you want included in the Q&A, which I'll probably start next week, I would imagine, or basically when I can be asked to do that, then please leave your questions below and I'll do my very best to answer them as honestly as I can. And on that note, if you have made it to the end of the video, thank you very much for watching and listening, and I'll see you on the next one.